What's up and welcome back to my channel, the best place to learn about motorcycles and mindset tips to get you comfortable and confident so that you can live your very best life. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about overcoming this thing called imposter syndrome. Basically, I'm going to give you my cheat sheet to get you started riding motorcycles without any doubt or hesitation. Now, the term imposter syndrome is pretty common these days, and I'm sure that just like me, you felt like an imposter at some point in your life. Now, this is really common for women who want to enter the motorcycle world, either as a new rider or as a business owner. And in this video, you will learn my top ways for overcoming imposter syndrome and going full throttle into your best life. The term imposter syndrome suggests that you feel inferior compared to others or that you feel like you don't belong. For a long time in my life, I deeply identified with this, but I've come to realize the words that we use are super powerful to how we view ourselves, and by labeling myself as an imposter, I was really reinforcing these strong feelings of inadequacy. So I'm here to tell you there are no imposters, no one is fake, and no one is a fraud. We are all perfectly unique and absolutely perfect exactly as you are right now. When we say we feel like imposters, what we're really saying is that we feel unsure of ourselves, like we're not enough. That does not mean that you are less than anyone or you're inferior in any way. We all have different starting points in life, and some of us are further along than others, which is nothing to feel bad about or to internalize as a negative thought pattern. Now, you might feel like a fraud, but there is nothing fake about you living your life and pursuing your goals. This life is real. You are real and you are capable of amazing things, as you've already demonstrated again and again throughout your life. Okay, but what if we still feel like a fraud and unsure of ourselves and our abilities? How do we even change that? So here are my top 4 ways to overcome imposter syndrome through the lens of my riding career. 1, I realized my thoughts weren't facts. Somehow, all of my life, I convinced myself that my thoughts were 100% true and accurate at all times. And anything that conflicted with that was really, wrong. So I wanted to start riding motorcycles, and I had a recurring thought of, who am I to ride motorcycles? I began to beat myself up about it because I thought I wasn't good enough, so why even try? But this feeling was in direct conflict with the feedback I was getting from a lot of my friends. They thought it was really cool and really badass that I wanted to ride motorcycles. And honestly, I was shocked that others saw me differently to how I even saw myself. And the thing here to realize is that just because we think we are something doesn't actually mean we are that. Sometimes it's as simple as reframing a positive belief into a negative, positive into a negative, or changing our language about how to describe how we feel. On a deeper level, we can analyze our self-limiting beliefs and our values, and maybe understand that what we think is actually a conditioned reaction to an external response. And a great way to see if you are being too hard on yourself is to think of one of your closest friends. Would they say the same thing to you that you are saying to yourself? Most likely they wouldn't. In fact, they would probably respond with a lot of love and support to help you achieve your goals. So an example of this is when I studied to be a motorcycle coach. I went into the first weekend of training absolutely terrified, and I felt the biggest case of imposter syndrome I had ever felt. Not only was I the only female in class, but I was also quite a bit younger than a lot of the other candidates. And in my head, this translated to me being unqualified and out of my league. Once I realized when I got there was everyone was really happy for me, treated me as an equal, and there was no signs that I was not qualified to be there. Number 2, review your successes. If you still feel like you don't belong or you don't have the right qualifications to be where you are, then try counting up all of your successes in life. List them down on a blank piece of paper and keep writing them down as quick as they come to you. From birth until now, what have you done in your life that made you feel like a success? Pay special attention to accomplishments that you felt like you didn't that you wouldn't accomplish, but you did anyway? Did you feel like a fraud at that time? And how did you deal with it back then? So this activity is going to serve two purposes. It's going to bring to your attention all of the badass stuff you've done in your life that you've forgotten about, and that's going to make you feel really good. Secondly, it's going to build confidence. So once you realize that you've already done amazing things, then once you start to think about riding motorcycles, it isn't going to be such a stretch for you. Okay, the third thing is realize you aren't alone. Along my riding journey, as I met other women riders, I realized that we all felt fraudulent at some point. Even women who looked super successful from the outside and ride thousands of miles every year, still at some level have a voice in their head that says, you're not good enough. When I realized that other women felt this too, I felt less alone and somehow more bonded to them. It also made me realize that if we all feel like frauds, then no one is a fraud. We cannot be fake or undeserving in this thing called life. Fourth thing, let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is closely linked to the fear of failure, which is something that all riders struggle with. No one wants to look silly or say the wrong thing or drop their motorcycle or not know the answer to a motorcycle related question. And the reality is that no one knows 100% what they are doing when they start something new. That's literally the whole point of trying new things. We go back to the beginning and we have to be okay with that. We have to even embrace it. Once I realized that I didn't need to know everything about a motorcycle in order to operate one, and that I didn't need to be a mechanic in order to own a motorcycle, a lot of the pressure just came rolling off my shoulders. Another thing is adopting a healthy attitude to failure as part of the process of learning will help you overcome feeling like a fraud. When you make a mistake, instead of saying, I suck, I can't do this, instead say, that was a good lesson, now I know what not to do next time. And remember, there is no such thing as failure, only learning and growth. Now, at this point in my video, I've shared my top 4 ways to overcome feelings of imposter syndrome that I've personally used throughout my riding career. And I hope that you will implement at least one of these in your life so that you can ride confidently and achieve all your wildest dreams. Now, comment below and let me know which one resonates most with you. Overcoming imposter syndrome is only one strategy for riding motorcycles. So if you haven't already, I want you to sign up for my free guide on how to go from non-rider to badass biker babe. The link is below in the description box. Now, I post a lot of content about motorcycles and mindset to help women live their best life. So while you wait for my next video, I want to make sure that you watch these other 2 videos coming up on the screen. I promise they will not disappoint. As always, I love you and I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day and a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.